Shalom, this is Azrael about Israel. I just want to encourage anyone who is having a financial situation. I'm going to share a little bit about my testimony when I went to Israel. In 2000, and it was actually the end of 2003, I was sitting in my truck and, I was listening to this music, this messianic music that I had picked up from the store. And it just really blessed me. But I was always listening to this music, and the lady lives in Israel. That's a whole nother subject and a whole nother topic. Let God do what He wants to do in that situation. But so I'm listening to this music, and I have in my heart, okay, you need to go, and I'm like, well, okay, well, I'll go and I save money. And it kept nudging at me like really hard, and I'm like, all right, I'll go, all right, that's how I was, that's how I am with that's how I am with God. So at any rate, I'm going down a list, running my mouth and going down a list, and the Holy Spirit stops me and starts ministering to me, and deals with my unbelief, my doubt and my unbelief about Him providing for me. So He let me know that He was going to pay my bills. He told me, well, you can't hear God. Yeah, I heard God. I heard His voice. I also heard Him call me by my Hebrew name, which is Azriela. Before I went to Israel or after I came back, I don't remember when, but I heard His audible voice. I've heard His audible voice a few times. If we stop talking, we'll hear Him. But anyway, so He lets me know. He tells me, okay, you're gonna get a phone call from Israel, and all these things are going on. And I'm like, okay. So I get home, and there's 3 checks in the mail that added up to $532. I was like, wow. And then that next Wednesday, I got a phone call from Israel at 5:17 in the morning. I was like, wow, this is God. Okay, I need to get on the ball with this, So I put the down payments and everything, and, it was time for us to pay the airfare. The airfare was going to be $1,357. I said, okay, well, I'll just make payments on it, Father, So we were getting correspondence and emails and telling us what we should do, and how much money we should put aside, but to pray, about the airline fees. So I'm praying for the airline fees. And Friday, after I get off work, I check the emails, and the plane tickets went down from $1,357 to $771.50, round trip tickets, meals included. Okay. So that next Shabbat, I get to Shabbat, and after Shabbat, I have a brother come up to me and tell me, hey, when I was locked away, because he was put in jail for something he did a while back. He said, when I was in jail, the Holy Spirit was nudging on me, and I was praying, and you came to my mind, and God told me to give this to you. He handed me an envelope with $500 in it. Okay, this is on Shabbat. After I found out that the plane ticket's no longer $1,357, but it's $771.50. I'm like, whoa, Father, you just took care of that ticket for me. And then so time went on, and the Holy Spirit was ministering to me about things that were going to happen. And then before I left, that same friend gave me another $150. So basically, I didn't even have to pay for my flight ticket. I go to Israel, wonderful times of prayer, praise, worship, just beautiful times. And then, then I get to Israel, the Western Wall on the second week. And while I'm on that wall, the Holy Spirit hits me. I fall down to my knees, and it's like fire in my belly. And I start crying out to God, and I'm praying in an unknown language. That's a human language. It's unknown to me. And I was praying in a language, and it was fire. And I got off that wall, we went up. We continued with the rest of our tour or whatever we were doing. And then when I came back to United States and came back to California, the Holy Spirit had did such a work of love in my heart. You don't even understand the Spirit of grace until you have the Spirit of grace, and then you don't walk in it like you used to walk in it. I can't even explain it. But the Spirit of grace was all over me. People did me horribly, I'm gonna slash your tires just because I helped somebody. All these things I did innocently and blindly because I just wanted to show the love of Jesus, Yeshua. And I came back from Israel. And I did things out of love without thought, for myself. I've been accused of wrong things. I've been basically threatened. I've had all kind of things befall me because of that, But in the end, God always vindicated me because I love Him, because He first loved me. So this is a video for anyone who's looking for financial help or anything like that. If you have something that you need to do and God has told you to do it, you keep praying and you keep seeking God because He will provide for you. There's nothing impossible for those who believe. Nothing impossible. So until next time, may God bless you and keep you. May you be filled with His glory, because He's all glorious, and we're going to be glory carriers. We are glory carriers. We are His ambassadors. So just want to leave you with that, and until next time, shalom.